Hello, this is Jackie B. Peterson of Better, Smarter, Richer, and Best Beginnings. For those of you who are expecting my co-presenter, Ronnie Noize, and I know there are a bunch of you signed up, I have to report that we've heard from Ronnie, and she is having technical, really chaos where she is. And we all know what that's like in working our businesses. So we are rescheduling our webinar jointly with Ronnie for 11 a.m. next week on January 27th. So the same time, but next Wednesday. And so I hope you will join us again. But in the meantime, I'd love to have you stay and listen to our presentation about Best Beginnings, because I think it's full of just absolutely chock full of powerful, good information that can really help you with your business. Working with me today is my colleague, Susan Taylor. Do you want to say hi, Susan?
I do. Hello.
And Susan is my colleague with Imagine Productions and has been very involved in putting this webinar together. And more than that, one of Susan's gifts is to make sure that the right questions get answered. So that is absolutely a fabulous thing. And so we're going to get underway. As I say, Ronnie is not going to be able to join us today, unfortunately. She's fine, but her technology has taken a break today. You know, one of those things that happens, we all know how that is. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to continue talking about Best Beginnings and getting your solo business started up and running on the right foot. So those of you who are here, I'm thrilled to have you. This is terrific. So let me talk about Best Beginnings. Best Beginnings is a 7-part webinar series. It's a brand new product for me, Jackie B. Peterson. Brand new product for me. I've had my book out on the marketplace for a very long time, but now we've got the Best Beginnings webinar series, and this is something that is based on my methodology written about in Better, Smarter, Richer. And what happened is that over time, working with clients in Better, Smarter, Richer, I've really come to realize that a lot of people just don't know how to take that information and the Better, Smarter, Richer methodology and turn it into a successful business for themselves. And out of that, we created the Best Beginnings system. So please ask questions as we go. There's a question bar on the side of your screen. Type it in. Susan is monitoring that for us.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Whew. And we can do that as we go. Or, we're going to have time for the questions at the end. I also want to encourage you to stay tuned all the way to the end, because we have some special offers for you, for our audience today. And so I'm just happy that you're here and working with us. So let's get underway. So maybe you've heard about my groundbreaking solo business method called Better, Smarter, Richer. What I know is absolutely no one else is talking about my approach for imagining and starting a business. And yet it works. And it's been really successful for thousands of my clients. But, there's millions of Americans out there wanting or trying to start their own businesses. And I think they're getting bad advice, on how to begin and how to proceed. Basically, they are told that unless they model their business after what I'm going to call the traditional corporate structure, that they are going to fail. And the corporate approach, that corporate structure, requires that an entrepreneur build a business that will ultimately have him or her as the president, providing over a company of managers and workers. But what if your initial idea for your business was to work hands-on, say, for the joy of doing what you do and what you love, and maybe you wanted to create hand-built pottery, or you're someone that's going to deliver life coaching seminars. If you follow the traditional corporate model, all the work you love to do is going to be done by others. That's how the traditional business model works. The founder spends his or her time managing people, also worrying about getting bigger and satisfying investors, and other people do the work of the organization. This is no good for artists, consultants, healthcare providers, and many others who simply have no wish to abandon the creation of their product or service. And so believing that they had to follow the corporate approach has led hundreds of potentially successful solos to give up or maybe not even start. And they're in just despair. There's no way for me, is what they're thinking. But you know, there's me. I believe in your success. The giving up and not making it successful for you simply does not make it happen. You do not have to go that way, and you do not have to believe that that is true. So our method makes it possible, really necessary, for the work, whether a product or service, to be done by you, the expert. Now, I'm just determined that the waste of invaluable talent has got to come to a stop. And I hope that you will stay with me for the next about 45 minutes or so to learn how you can fulfill your personal dream of a successful solo business. Now, my clients often tell me that they love my solo business method, but that they need help with the very beginning steps. They're unsure how to select the best businesses, how to overcome anxieties about asking for money, how to talk about themselves and their brand new business, how to manage the tasks that they know are necessary, but at which they know next to nothing. Now, I meet literally hundreds of beginning entrepreneurs, and I realize that there's what I think is an urgent need for what I'm going to call the best beginnings method, which is safe and structured for successfully beginning a business, even if you have no idea what might be the best business, what you might be best at, or what you need to do to get started from scratch. Let's look at some of these fears. This is one that comes up a lot. I've got no idea what to do. I'd love to start a business, but I don't know what to do. So these are some of the basic questions that Best Beginnings answers. The fears, we work very hard to overcome fears that people have about starting a business. So here's one thing people say: I've got lots of ideas, but no clue about what will work or make any money. This is confusion. They think this might work. I can't pick one. What if I fail? You know, you can see that a budding entrepreneur is going to be confused and just confounded. You know, it's just too much. They don't know what to do. Is this a good idea, they say? Will this make money? What should I do? So, and we'll deal with that in Best Beginnings. Here's another fear that comes up. I'm afraid I'm going to have to raise a lot of money. You know, and I can't do that. I've promised my spouse I won't go into debt. I don't understand venture capitalists. I don't trust bankers. I don't want to write a great big huge business plan. What am I going to do? So these are lots of fears that stop people from starting the business they've always wanted. Do I need to borrow money? You know, I don't even know who a venture capitalist is and what they do. It seems very daunting and very fearful. Here's another fear that comes up. I simply do not want to manage employees. I just want to do my thing. So this is a huge fear that stops people from starting a business. They think that in order to create a business, they're going to have to hire and manage employees. Wow. When I tell them that the solo business model means that you can grow and succeed without hiring people, a look of total relief crosses their faces. Yes, you can do this, and you can do it well without hiring employees. The corporate business model teaches that success lies in hiring others to do the work. But that's not going to work for you if you alone can create and deliver the product or service you want to sell. Think music, think writing or art. Too often, creatives, encores, health service professionals, consultants are told that being successful is not possible. I don't believe that's true. In fact, it's beyond belief. I know it's not true. So I've created a business method that allows the entrepreneur to be an entrepreneur, doing what they love, and not become an unhappy manager or an overworked, discouraged, unhappy business owner. We will teach you how to use the water bug model, our trademark business model that means you can get all the support you need to start and grow your business without hiring employees. And in fact, if you hire employees, you wind up negating the tremendous benefits garnered from being a solo. Don't you love this picture? This is what we think, a lot of us, we think we're going to have when we are going to go out and create a business. Hiring people to do the work is sometimes thought of as the absolutely the only way that you can succeed in business. What do we measure out there all the time? Jobs created. And the work itself on the pyramid, if you think of a corporate business as being a pyramid, the work itself is at the bottom of the pyramid model, and you, the business owner, are up at the top. And what you're doing is you're directing work, you're directing a staff, you're directing managers, and solos just are not interested in doing that or can't do that. They want to do the work, create the art, deliver the service. They want to make the painting, write the book, deliver the consulting engagement. They want to do the work themselves. So our method ensures success without abandoning what you love doing and becoming a manager. You do not have to give that up in our solo business. So here's another one that comes up. I am absolutely deathly afraid of selling and marketing myself. Oh my goodness. This just happens to have come up again and again and again. And I'm so sorry Ronnie's technology didn't allow her to be here today. She'd just jump right in and talk about this because you know what a maven she is about helping you gain your marketing skills. But this is what I hear. I'm too shy. I'm an introvert. I don't know what to say. How can I market? And it just stops people. They say, I'm just too shy. I'm worried sick about having to market. I have to tell you, this was my own story. I had to learn how to market. It was not easy for me. I keep saying, if I can do it, you can do it. So in Best Beginnings, we're going to give you a series of tools you can use to confidently and enthusiastically express yourself about your product or service. It's the basis of any good, strong marketing is to be excited about what you're doing. That's the key. We're also going to teach you some other tools that we're going to help you feel confident. One is knowing your unique value proposition. Another is understanding your target market and knowing that you can outsource marketing help and marketing services to help you with marketing administration, such as social media and keeping your website up to date. Thank heavens we can outsource to people who love to do that. Okay, here's another fear. I just don't believe I'm good enough to have a business. Boy, I hear that one a lot. I'm not, I've tried it once, it didn't work. I'm too young, I'm too old, I think a lot of this has to do with two sets of programming. One is the programming that we got when we were young that talks to us about not being good enough. And the other is the programming that maybe came from working for the last 30 to 35 years in corporate America. Corporate America has a way of convincing us that the work that we've done for them is only valuable to them. And it's not where you don't know anything that's worth anything to anybody else. But my word for that is balderdash. You do know things. And you have a unique view of the world because of who you are and your life experiences. And there are potential buyers waiting for what you are going to bring to the marketplace. Best Beginnings is going to help you gain confidence in what it is you have to sell, because you will know exactly what it is you have to offer, be able to talk about it very succinctly and very clearly, and to whom you are offering it. That knowledge is simply going to support you as you move forward. Here's something else that comes up. A lot of fears, right? What if I have nothing new to offer? There's too much competition out there. Others are already doing it. There's no room for me in the marketplace. So, there's nothing new, maybe you think. But if you take time to investigate and explore, you often find that what others are offering is not what you're planning to offer. You may think people are competitors, and then you go in and you dig in a little deeper, and you find out they're not planning to offer exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. They're just making different offerings, and they may not include the features or approaches that you're planning and you're offering. So they're not really competitors at all. So we're going to help you look closely at what is out there in the marketplace and distinguish and make a distinction between what you have to offer and what is already there. Often this is enough to bring you the understanding that what you plan to bring is as unique as you. and that it is different and needed, and it is strong enough to be the foundation for building your business. So Best Beginnings is different. You can see already all the different ways it is than the other how-to ways to start a business, all the other things that people tell you that you have to do. And Best Beginnings is also different, not just because of the underlying philosophy of starting a business, but because it's realistic, down to earth, practical. It's grounded in my 40 years of coaching, and it's easy to follow. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to be with you the entire way. Often, creatives, encores, and health service providers are told that being successful in a solo business is simply not possible. I don't know if that's happened to you, but it's sure happened to a lot of people. And the better, smarter, richer method upon which Best Beginnings is based is perfect for any artist, creative, professional, or consultant. And it's also perfect for encores, big group of those, big population of encores, those over 50 who want to spend their next 30 years doing what they love and securing or supporting their retirement income. I love this picture. I think this is what creatives often do to themselves. They leave themselves with the crust. You know, many artists who try to make a living as an artist wind up on a starvation budget, an unsustainable bare bones budget that doesn't allow for growth or physical and mental comfort. Our method deals with this directly and finds a way for entrepreneurs to be comfortable while working at what they love. You can charge what you are worth. And furthermore, your business will really struggle if you don't charge enough. Best Beginnings will work with you and help you calculate and price and feel good about charging a fair price for your work. Here's the encores again. Many encores today are simply not ready to retire. Maybe because they can't afford to retire, or maybe because they've got a lot of energy, enthusiasm, ideas, imagination, and they want to keep working. But this time they say, I want to spend my time doing something I truly love. This method allows encores to capitalize on the expertise they spent their time acquiring. I call it that. Let's monetize your expertise. There are more businesses today being created by those over 50 than any other age group. We're living what is being called the longevity bonus, an extra 30 years or so of life expectancy, which is both a gift and a challenge. It is a gift because it is a new time of life when we can monetize what we have spent the lifetime learning. And it's a challenge because people who saved for retirement are finding that maybe their savings aren't going to stretch out for another 25 or 30 years. You know me, I say this sounds like a huge opportunity, and lots of encores are finding that to be true as well. Best Beginnings is experiential. That makes it different, doesn't it? Often someone starting a new business is told that an extensive written business plan is the only way forward. They're going to spend months writing that plan, not actually out there running their business. You know, I just don't believe that. The successful entrepreneur, of course, must have a general plan of action, but it needs to be short, flexible, and ready to change from one approach to another based on what their customers give them as feedback, constantly working on the interaction with the customer. The successful entrepreneur asks questions, analyzes the marketplace for what is not offered, and changes and adjusts their business to take advantage of what is needed and wanted by the marketplace. Agility is the best way to find success, not being saddled to following a fixed and immovable business plan. Okay, enough talking about it. Let's talk about what you're going to learn in the 7 webinars. First one is called, What Should I Do? A solo entrepreneur can run a successful business, not accomplished by taking a magic pill. Any solopreneur knows that. It takes hard work and deep introspection to be successful. You've got to think about what you really want, what is really important to you, and what is really working and what is not working. So the first thing is I want you to focus on one thing. People have a hard time doing this. There's conventional wisdom out there that the more things that you offer, the more you are likely to attract a customer. That is old thinking. It is not the 21st century business. In a 21st century business, first, you must focus on one thing. You cannot be an interior decorator and a massage therapist. I've had people tell me that they are. Or an attorney and a personal trainer. I've had people tell me that too. For your business to be successful, you must choose and present yourself to the world as one thing. You know, that's all we've got the mental capacity to remember is you associated with one thing and one specialty. Of course, you can continue to do your other activities, but do them as a hobby and don't lead with them as a money-making enterprise. Just one thing and be really, really good at it. So once you have chosen your focus, now we're going to go for your sweet spot. You love the frosting on that cupcake. A business idea, a sweet spot, is the business idea where your passion for the work combined with your talent for the work intersect with a flow of revenue. In other words, enough customers willing to buy your work. Without all three of these elements, you will fail. Passion and talent aren't enough because talent, no one might be interested in buying what you have to offer if you're just out there with passion and talent. If passion and money together aren't enough either, because without the skill, the talent, you may not be able to do a good job of providing the product or service that your business needs to offer. And if you do not have passion, if you only have talent and you have money and you're doing it kind of in a cerebral approach rather than a from the heart approach, you're going to have a hard time carrying it through when there are bumps in the road and it's difficult to sustain your business. You must have passion for your work as well. So we're going to take you through a process that will help you find all three of these elements. So this is the Venn diagram I like to use. See where passion, talent, and money intersect? That's where the right business for you is. So once you have chosen your focus, we want you to dig deeper and create a specialization and build your expertise. And if you don't like to say I'm an expert, we'll let you say I focus on this, I have a specialty in this, but I want you to build your expertise in your focus. And what happens? Everything happens from that specialization. So think about the ones we've talked about. If you're a massage therapist, focus on developing your expertise by, say, you only work with pregnant women, or you work with sports injuries. Those are great things to have a specialty in. If you choose the interior decorating focus, maybe you go after decorating new homes or mid-century modern or remodels or offices. You can develop your skills and your reputation in one area of your focus. Become known for one thing. Specialization and expertise lead to financial success, almost a direct route. It's really important. Okay, here's the next thing. How should I begin? Well, this is our nuts and bolts seminar. How do I begin? We help you take that idea and turn it right into a business. And as I say, it's a nuts and bolts. This is the one that is the concrete steps we talk about to turn that idea into the actual business. They involve naming your business, creating the right form of business, registering the business, finding and funding the business, and having a package of services, having a pricing model, and really, I love it if you have your first client, starting to offer your services. Here's the biggie, the granddaddy of them. What is my product or service worth? How do I set my price? If you're going to be successful, you must charge enough money for your work. I see one of the biggest reasons that businesses fail is that they do not charge enough money for what they do. I met with a client yesterday. He had built his financial plan for his consulting services on $30 an hour. I tried not to scream no at him. I think I was more polite than that. But you cannot possibly build a successful consulting business charging less than $50 an hour, and it should go up from there. Again and again and again, I see people not charging enough money for what they do. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid to quote the price. They're afraid that their client's going to argue with them and go somewhere else. But here's the truth. If you join my Best Beginnings webinar, you are going to hear me say this many times. If you do not charge enough money, people do not think you are any good. That's a fact. And we need to integrate that fact and then begin charging the money that we need to charge. If you do not charge enough money, in addition to the people not thinking you're any good, you can't afford to live the life you deserve. You can't afford to invest in renewal and regeneration and staying current with new technologies, new trends, new techniques, new things that are going on in your field. You can't afford to hire or outsource the help you need and to look and be seen as more professional. You must get paid enough for your work. Best Beginnings, we're going to help you set the prices and the rates that will make you financially successful. We're going to look at all of the elements that go into setting a rate and help you identify what your rate should be, and then how to talk about it confidently and quote that price so that people are happy to hire you at the rate that you have quoted. I love that. Of course they're happy to hire you. So in Best Beginnings, we're also going to talk about how to offer packages of service so that you're not ever tempted to quote your work by the hour. I like to tell you, no one ever buys just 1 hour of your time, so don't offer it. Have ways that your customers can work with you that satisfy their needs and get you paid what you deserve. Okay, here's a wonderful marketing tool, and we're going to talk about this in Best Beginnings. We're going to help you articulate your value. This is so important, and it's difficult to do. Those of you who work with Ronnie, you know, she's a master at this, helping you articulate your value proposition. You've got to be able to articulate it clearly and succinctly and talk about what differentiates you from everyone else. There's two key elements to raising your price. One is quality, the other is differentiation. So in Best Beginnings, we're going to work with you to develop your unique value proposition and become comfortable saying it at every opportunity, just like you say your name. Your unique value proposition is how you talk about yourself. Strangers will give you the gift of 4.2 seconds of attention span. Attention span is the most rare commodity in the world. When you are networking or talking to possible clients, you must interest them and intrigue them quickly and succinctly. Your unique value proposition not only focuses the conversation and gets people interested in what you have to offer, but remember, it helps you stay focused and on track. You can go back and look at your unique value proposition and say, am I sticking to my core purpose? Because if I do that, I'm just going to continue to get better and better and better. Lesson 4, how do my customers find me? Boy, well, that's a big question. But you know, this is a big worry. It's part of the marketing, you know, the whole set of marketing worries that people have when they're thinking of starting a business. So how do I find people that will, you know, buy what I have to offer? You know, it's a big world out there. How in the world do I find those people? How am I going to find them? So remember that it is about getting your message, the megaphone, out to those who need and want to hear what you have to say, the sleeping soldiers. In Best Beginnings, we're going to spend a lot of time helping you do exactly that. So, who is my customer? Again, a pillar of marketing. We said one pillar of marketing is your message. Who your target is, who is your customer exactly, I like to say, is the other pillar of marketing. These are the two things that you need to know. What is your message and to whom are you trying to send it? Remember this, you do not have to think that marketing is like we see so often on TV, that marketing is McDonald's, it's Walmart, it's Coca-Cola. Those organizations are trying to sell to absolutely everybody on the planet. all 7.2 billion of us. You and I are not trying to do that. We are trying to sell to the people most likely to buy from us, our target customers. So we want you to be very clear about who that is. Then we'll work on what do you say to them and how do you approach them. If you want your marketing to hit the target in the bullseye, just like these arrows have done, you have to know who it is that you are aiming for. In Best Beginnings, we will help you determine who that person is and help you decide how to approach them so that you make the sales you want, again, without having to think you have to sell to everybody on the planet. How do I speak the language of my customers? How do I speak so that they can hear me? You know, I think you can already see that the ideas that are in Best Beginnings are very different from standard business plans. Remember, the standard plan is designed to give you 6 months worth of work while you're figuring out how you're going to raise money from a bank or a venture capitalist, and you're going to have detailed financial analysis and projections and estimates and internal rate of return and a lot of legal terms and buyout options. And, you know, they're geared to show growth in product sales and return on investment. First of all, that's not what a solo business is about. Certainly a solo business is about making money, but it's also about bringing what you do to the right customer and creating joy and satisfaction for you in a way that works for your customers. So in Best Beginnings, we're going to help you not only identify your best target customer, but we're also going to teach you how to encourage them to become a happy, eager referral source because you know their needs so well. They're just going to be happy to refer you to other people just like them who also need you. I kind of refer to this as surgical marketing. It's kind of a thought that I've had as I've worked so hard on helping my solos figure out precisely how to market. And here's one thing to remember. This is, again, an element of the 21st century business. The customers that you are seeking are also seeking you. This is a big deal in current, new businesses. It did not used to be that way. And this means that marketing is a two-way street. You are trying to reach people, but they are looking for you. So a part of your marketing is being so clear and so precise, but so visible that those who are looking for you can see the glow that you're sending out there into the ether, and they can find you. They can easily find you because you're helping them and you are using the language that means something to them and resonates with them. We're going to help you develop your specific marketing so that you can plan how to reach and how to be available to the customers that are looking for you like you're looking for them. Okay, this is the zinger. How do I grow? And because for years people could not imagine how a solo business could grow, they were discounted. Solo businesses for a long time have been, oh, you're in a home-based business. Oh, you're in just, you're working from home. Oh, you're a single business. Your business is not scalable. It can't get bigger. It isn't worth anything. Blah, blah, blah. Well, we have overcome that thought. Right now there's 30 million people who are in businesses solo. So I want you to remember this. No matter how small it is, this is a business. It is your business. So among the other things that we're going to talk about, we are going to make sure that you understand you need and have financial information. You need to have a pricing system, a set of books, invoices, cash collection plans, packages of services, and reports to you as the owner so that you can hold it accountable to what you want it to do for you. I think a business is a tool that you create because you want it to produce something for you. So we need to hold it accountable to giving what it is that you want it to do. So as you grow, we're going to give you the principles of what I have come to call the water bug model. Growing by outsourcing, growing by collaboration. In Best Beginnings, we will help you identify the tasks you should never do that should be outsourced to other business owners on a business-to-business basis, where the work is being done by those who are not only really good at it, but who have a great interest in your success, as opposed to employees who often are at, resisting you and are often at odds with you and not interested in the success of your enterprise. Your outsourced associates have a vested interest in your success and will help you make your business better. So let's look at the water bug and the water bug model. We talked a bit about that. When I was struggling with identifying and naming the basic principles that a solo business must follow in order to achieve financial success, I was really inspired by the water skimmer. Take a look at that bug, okay? It is their long legs and kind of the pontoons at the ends of those legs that keep them atop the water and moving fast over the top of the water. Keeps them from falling in and falling to the bottom and drowning. Our outsourced partners do the same thing. They perform administrative and financial and marketing services for us that help us make our businesses successful by making sure that we are able to devote the majority of our time to our primary work. They do the work, they do it on a business-to-business basis, and we do not have the responsibility of managing them and hiring them like we do employees. Instead, they're another business owner, and they are vested in and interested in helping us and doing what makes us money because it keeps us as a successful client, which keeps them making money. What a great relationship that is. Okay, so let's talk about Best Beginnings webinar series again. It's designed to help guide you through understanding the concepts of the Better, Smarter, Richer method and integrating them into every phase of your business: ideation, design, and implementation. Best Beginnings uses the Better, Smarter, Richer 7 principles and recognizes that without a successful business, it's very hard for a solo business to succeed. Now, you've probably heard of many people who've started lots of businesses. Their ideas just come tumbling out and they take shots in the dark and hope to hit the target. And sometimes they do spectacularly. But if you don't have thought and research and self-awareness and a host of other steps, it's very hard for a small business to be successful. And solos have limited time and money, so they can't afford to waste those precious items with dozens of mistakes and false starts.
Jackie,
Yes.
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
What if you have already started a business, but you're experiencing difficulty? I mean, you're floundering. Is Best Beginnings a good place to come for the help you might need if you're in the early stages of a business that isn't going well?
Absolutely. Because we're going to help you take another look at your offerings, at your focus, at your specialization, and maybe it's only a matter of doing some fine tuning or shaping, or it might be time to make some big switches, or it might be time to drop something that is just draining your energy but is not producing financial results. All kinds of changes can take place. And then we work so hard on helping you articulate what it is that differentiates you. And maybe one of the reasons your business isn't doing so well is because you haven't differentiated yourself enough in the marketplace. Or, my bugaboo, maybe you're not charging enough money for what you do. And again and again and again and again, I work with people and we push their prices up. And you know what happens? They become successful and they don't have to work so hard to make the money that they need to survive. They move out of survival mode and into thriving mode.
Jackie, the way I see it, and this is a little bit of an epiphany for me, is that Best Beginnings is a combination of very valuable technical information and the emotional help that solos need to go forward into very treacherous kinds of self-awareness and self-confidence and so on.
Yes.
Both of those.
One of the reasons I laugh a lot, and I say that one of the reasons that coffee shops are so popular is that there are so many solos and they need to be around other people. But even then, when you instead of thinking of working in a coffee shop, you're still working on your own. When you're working with Best Beginnings, you're joining a group of people and you're gaining that kind of support that you're looking for. We'll talk about it later, but we're going to have a follow-up mastermind to continue working with people who've taken Best Beginnings so that you have continued support. And, you know, it just is there. Excuse me, the support you need, not only from your other colleagues who are in the webinar with you, but also from me and the Best Beginnings team. You know, you're joining that kind of a support system. So as you say, technical knowledge with a lot of support. It's really a great combination.
And I think that already you've mentioned things that are just of they're so different from the information that people are getting. Charge enough. Different, make yourself unique.
Yes.
Find your specific niche. Don't try to offer everything to everybody. All of those ideas are I think are groundbreaking to people who are considering the solo world. I
do too. You're singing my song.
Okay, la la la. Onward, Jackie.
So I want you to think of, you know, we talked about having a business plan, and this is the alternative, you know, and this model comes straight out of process improvement. I did total quality management consulting and change management consulting for quite a few years, and I just went right into that discipline and have adopted this methodology called Plan, Do, Check, Act. And the Best Beginnings Start a Business is designed right around this model. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about it, you know, and do our planning, our thinking, our getting clear, our specialization, putting our structure in place. And then, you know, we're going to write a short plan around it so that we've got something we're operating from. And then we're going to go out and find a client. How much better to test your thesis than go find your first client? And your first client in the do section here is going to be so excited to be working with you because they're going to be somebody that knows you, loves you, needs you, can hardly believe that they're lucky enough to get you working with them. And you're going to draw upon the experience to check your systems, to check your assumptions, to try things out. And they're going to give you feedback about what works, what doesn't work. And out of that, you are really going to be able to put the polishing touches on your business and on your plan. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to do this. So, you know, if you will work with Best Beginnings and follow that system, I'm going to say we're going to help you dream and live your dream and have the business that you love. And, you know, those of you who are past 50, hate to call that later in life. I'm way later in life, right? You can do what you love to do and make money, okay? We're going to help you. We're going to support you and make it work. Here's another element of Best Beginnings, which I just love. It is a package of worksheets, and we're going to talk about these worksheets. You're going to download them when you register, and they're going to be available to you to write on, to take notes, to fill out. I'm estimating that you're going to have each webinar for about an hour, and then you're going to want to put another 1 to 3 hours each week into developing your business, completing these worksheets, working on them, thinking about them, you know, and figuring out the details of what you need to do to create the business that you love. Also, what's going to happen is that each webinar, we will be recording it, and you can go back and listen to it again and again and again. And when you finish the worksheets and we tune in again the next week, we'll ask you how you're doing. If you've got questions, you'll be able to plug into that as well. So this is a tremendous resource for you. We're going to really tailor this to you. We make an assumption in the Best Beginnings program, and that is that it is going to draw upon your life experience. This isn't just me, the guru, sitting there telling you the truths of life. We're going to draw upon your life experience and teach you how to draw upon your own life experience, your observations, your practical knowledge and skills. So we're going to assume you know a lot about your work, and we're going to support you as you imagine, create, and develop the business you have always wanted. So who benefits from Best Beginnings? I mean, let's take a look at this. What kind of people should sign up for this? Well, How about if you've always wanted a financially successful career and you just didn't know how to begin? So I find, again, one of the biggest stumbling blocks in the way of a solo business is the starting process itself. How do I vet an idea? How do I think about it? How do I get underway without costly mistakes and a waste of time, which even if you didn't waste your money, wasting your time just kills you, okay? And Best Beginnings can save literally thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours by guiding you to make sensible and profitable decisions about what is best for you to pursue. I'm sure that you've heard the entrepreneur who've made many false starts before actually finding the right thing. But how about those who just were defeated and stopped and went away? I think when people go away and don't bring their ideas to market, we all lose. So here's another group, the Encores. These are particularly good candidates for Best Beginnings. Often Encores are just simply not finished when they retire. They've done working at that job, but they're not done. They've got more to give, they have unfulfilled dreams, or they must simply have to continue to earn money to support their retirement. Best Beginnings provides a simple, low-cost way for Encores to explore their options and begin implementing a sustaining and successful business. How about if you're a creative? Creatives are especially vulnerable to failure because if they try to follow all the books that they pick up that's going to tell them how to be in business, they are not going to tell them about the solo business model. Artists have to do the work hands-on, and that's the heart of a solo business. They cannot hire someone to make their art, but they also have to do all the rest of the standard business work. Somewhere in the growing burden of making art and managing a business, many artists are defeated and just give up. The Best Beginnings approach is especially beneficial to artists, not only because it's based on supporting the creative process, but it also helps artists understand what they should be paid for their work and how to get paid fairly. You can make a living as an artist and have the work you love, but we want you to follow our process. That will work for you. How about if you're a solo professional? The attorney, the accountant, the consultant, the coach. Best Beginnings will help you narrow your focus on the right target customer for you, name and articulate your unique value as a professional without hiring employees, and charge enough money for success. Best Beginnings carefully lays out the relationship between your financial needs and your prices. You will be guided through ways to understand your competitors' prices and how to position your pricing and services within the real marketplace. What if you're a healthcare professional and you want a successful solo career? Maybe you're an acupuncturist, ND, massage therapist, caregiver, nutritionist, nurse practitioner. Best Beginnings will help you focus your practice on the right customers and teach you to speak the language that attracts those customers. It is very important for health practitioners to properly package services to generate the revenues they want and need, and charge appropriately for what they do. No matter what everybody else is charging. You can hear already I don't take as an excuse, but everybody else charges that. You're unique and different. We're going to figure out what you should be charging. Best Beginnings is going to show you how to present yourself as worth the higher fees you deserve to be paid. Now, we also know that pricing is an art, and we're going to talk about the value of your experience, your talent, and your unique skill set, and encourage you to add those non-material elements into your pricing equation. We're going to offer some methods to overcome the fear of asking for what your work is really worth. Through the Best Beginnings program, we're going to really encourage you to charge what you're worth. I'm going to be after this a lot, I can promise you. It's very important for you. This is a combination of both practical and competitive research and self-confidence and taking steps with support from us to overcome the fear and move towards financial success. The Best Beginnings team is just a fabulous support network, as Susan talked about. Marketing in the digital age, you've got to remember this, is as much about your customer finding you as about you finding your customer. We will talk about tools methods and approaches for you to use to make yourself visible and easy to find by the people to whom you want to sell, and know who those people are that you want to sell. Okay, so we're at the buy now spot. This is the place where I'm going to encourage you to take the step that can change your life. The course begins in February. It starts on February 4th, runs through March 17th, 11 a.m., 7 Thursdays in a row. The price is $497. Will be 11 a.m. as Pacific Standard Time. The first 2 people to sign up today from listening to this preview webinar can qualify, will get a 50% discount on the webinar. There's a code for you to use. It's BB50. When you go in and sign up and use that code, the first 2 of you will get a 50% discount. Now, I just want to tell you that with your time, it's not just the hour, it's the work that you do with it that is really going to make it matter, okay? It's not just learning, it's application of knowledge that we are after. So this is just simply a no-risk way, very low-risk way to discover whether a solo business, your solo business, can fulfill your dreams. So I'm just going to encourage you to begin to take the step now and learn how to begin your new venture. 7 live webinars, and those webinars will be recorded. You will get a tune-in number, a code number to go back into those webinars. So let's say we do the webinar on Thursday. You start to work with the work papers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can put that code number in, go back, listen to it again, move back and forward, look at the places where we've helped you through the worksheets, because we will be doing that in the webinar. They'll be up on the screen. We'll be talking about them. You can go back and look at them again and help you work on what you want to do to be bringing your own business to life. Remember, yes.
Can I just jump in here, because I want to make sure that people understand that the link on the screen right now, www.bettersmarterricher.com/bestbeginnings, is where you can sign up. And if you're one of the first 2 people to sign up today, the 50% discount is such an amazing value. 200 and what, Jackie?
$248.50.
She can do that math. $248.50. And you just enter the code BB50. And if you're one of the first 2 people today, so I don't hesitate. Gosh, I sound like Home Shopping Network.
But no Ginsu knives.
No Ginsu knives.
No.
But one heck of a program. If you are serious about starting a solo business, this is a terrific way to begin. And I really can't encourage people enough to take advantage of Jackie's offer, BB50.
I also want to tell you that I'm offering a premier program, which is another $300 that comes in for $797. If you get the 50% discount, it's going to be $548.50, and that is going to be a mastermind class that will begin at the end of the 7 webinars. It will run for 6 months. We'll get together and talk via phone as a group for 6 months, twice a month, and help you move along in your path to creating your business, answering questions, working with each other, helping you, again, apply the principles to your specific situation. And, that is also available as part of this program. We're not abandoning you in any way, sense of terms, where you listen and then think, okay, now what do I do? Never will that be a question. So remember, this is a method. It's a system. It isn't magic. It doesn't guarantee you a huge income in a short period of time. But, it can give you a comfortable living, growing, and doing exactly what you love. And how important is that? You can live your dream. You can begin living it late in life. You don't have to be, a youngster to do this. I'm engaged with students from start to finish, answering questions, lending encouragement, and a helping hand over the hard part. So I'm going to promise you that if you do your part, this will work for you, and you will move your life into the direction you have always wanted. So Susan, do we have any questions from attendees?
Let me ask. If anybody has a question, please type it in now, and I will pass it on to Jackie. I can't believe that everybody has completely understood exactly what's going on here. So if anybody does have a question, please ask. I would like to ask a question about what happens. I understand there's homework and worksheets and so on. What happens to the worksheets do we get help filling them out, or are we just kind of on our own?
Well, you know, if you take the time and work to fill them out, there is a sample in the Best Beginnings program that you can go back to. There is a sample of how they are filled out. And if you really need help doing that, you know, email me. I will answer you. That's all you have to do. You know, I really want this to work for you, so I will do that.
Mm-hmm. And there's a review of
at the beginning of the next session. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when we start session 3, we'll review what we did in session 2, so people can ask their questions.
Okay. And if, for example, I think I might have done my unique value proposition right, can I try it out on you? And
Oh,
see
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Because that's such a big deal.
Yep.
You know, it's a big deal. You're going to say it 1,000 times.
Yep. Okay, great. That's it.
Okay. No other questions?
Nope.
Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. And those of you who are expecting Ronnie, as we talked about at the very beginning, Ronnie has been having terrible technical difficulties today. Isn't that the way it goes with computers? And she is going to be joining us the same time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, January 27th. So hopefully you will tune in then. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day and goodbye.